The Mitsuki's Will arc officially comes to an end, and it ends up having massive repercussions for the rest of the series. Greetings, my friends! It's time to talk about count 'em, two episodes of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the episodes which completely wrap up the Mitsuki's Will arc, episodes 91 and 92. I don't have much to say about 91, as for the most part it's essentially just a big battle against Ku, and it pretty much ends in the way that you would possibly expect, with all of the characters utilizing their abilities, combining them together, and eventually defeating Ku with the power of friendship. However, there are a few surprises from this battle. First and foremost, Ku. He's not really that much more powerful, despite the fact that he has a human heart and looks like some sort of weird Resident Evil monster now. If anything, he has more glaring weaknesses because he has a human heart which is on the outside of his body, which makes it a very easy target. Initially in the battle, it's just Mitsuki versus Ku, which is great because we finally get to see Mitsuki use his nature transformation and his Sage mode, although it's a little different than the one that we saw previously, almost as if he's not using it to the fullest or he hasn't fully mastered it quite yet. And while it is really cool to see this, and I think one of the best things about this episode, man, it just didn't get utilized in the way that I was really hoping. He got defeated so easily by Ku, who just managed to cut off some of his snake arms, and then boom, he's right back to regular Mitsuki. I think this is kind of disappointing considering what we've seen it's truly capable of earlier on in the series, and maybe it's just the way that the animation was handled, but I just had a feeling that this would have been a great moment for Mitsuki to just completely wail on Ku, and it would have been awesome, but no, it's pretty much just all of the characters teaming up, and even Boruto doing a raw Sengon, knocking this guy into a pillar, blah 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 blah. The big surprise, however, is when Enoki finally decides to take down Ku himself with one of his massive big particle jutsus, and this leads to what might be the most shocking part about this entire arc. The Boruto anime series is going to kill Enoki. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Enoki was old as fuck, but I really didn't think that they were actually going to kill him in this arc, and it was a really depressing death, I have to say, especially because episode 91 doesn't make it fully clear if he's dead or if he's just knocked out. It's not until the very next episode where it's officially revealed that, yes, Enoki has actually died here, but in dying, he has sort of like left this really important message to the ninja world about the way that they operate and communicate with one another, and if they're going to have any sort of a future, they're going to have to be upfront about everything, and they're going to have to truly try and protect one another, and not with the use of crazy, ridiculous ninja weapons. It sends this sort of like big ripple throughout the entire series, and even all of the Kages realize it, that their communication and cooperation with one another is going to have to be rock solid from now on. No pun intended, of course. We get to see that Naruto recognizes the strength of Enoki yet again, and even Kuratsuchi realizes that she sort of took a lot of his teachings in the wrong way. Maybe that's just all in the past, maybe she could have done things differently, but now it's time to look towards the future. Enoki's funeral is actually kind of a sad scene, and it made me reflect on a lot of the moments of him from the series, and how he's managed to have like a really big impact on a lot of these characters, and it was really great to see him transform from that really old, sort of stubborn old man archetype to becoming the really caring character that he is here, that has such a massive effect on Boruto, which I think is really fantastic, as everything just sort of came full circle with Naruto getting through to Enoki, Enoki coming through to Boruto. Now, of course, a lot of crazy shit went on during this time, and because of that, there are going to be massive repercussions for Sarada, Boruto, and Mitsuki. Mitsuki is going to be questioned by the Konoha police, and Sarada and Boruto are seemingly stripped of their rank of Genin, which I thought was a pretty big shock, except for the fact that there is a manga version of Boruto, and I definitely know that they're going to be reinstated as Genin, so I know it was only a matter of time before all of that was going to happen. And it's all thanks to the efforts of Konohamaru and even Kuratsuchi, who decides to personally visit Naruto in his village, basically saying that if it wasn't for the young Genin, they wouldn't have been able to get out of this situation the way that they actually did. So they decide to just make sure that they're going to be Genin again, and everything's all happy and hunky-dory. We even get to see that Team 7 is reunited at the very end of the episode, with Boruto and Mitsuki squashing their bullshit, which is honestly really nice to see. I'm glad that we're finally past it at this moment, and if anything, this is just going to make these characters have a much stronger relationship. Now let's talk about the scene that I really want to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and put a spoiler warning right here, mostly because a lot of this will pertain to things that are going to be happening later on in the Boruto anime series, and stuff that only the manga readers are truly going to recognize. If you just want to get to the end of this review, or you want to hear the score, here it is right now. Episode 91, as it was to me, I was a little disappointed with it. I have to admit, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It was an okay final battle, but I felt that episode 92, an episode that I thought was going to be way worse, was way more important in actually what it was trying to do and display, as well as just giving us some nice teasing for the future. And of course, episode 92, especially with the scene I'm about to talk about, I absolutely loved. I went into episode 92 ready to hate it, and it ended up being one of my favorite parts about this entire arc, and it had some really great atmosphere and characterization. You really saw the characters grow in this moment. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. So let's talk about this scene right here. So there's this one random scene in the episode where we go back to Orochimaru and Log, and they're just having a casual conversation about the fact that Mitsuki is essentially going through puberty, which is really funny because this is a pretty damned extreme puberty if you actually think about it. But the big thing here is that Log actually mentions that scientist who was actually aiding Enoki and Ku, his body has suddenly disappeared. And that's when Orochimaru recognizes that the technology that they were using in order to create these fabrications, and in order to create all of these beings, is something that only he could have created, or something that he's not even possibly aware of, which could be even more stronger. Now, there's been a couple scenes in the Boruto anime series which has been hinting towards this type of technology, and it's all connected to this brand new evil organization in the manga series, which goes by the name of Kara. We've already had one of their members make a very small appearance in episode 53 of Boruto, and this is the next scene, which is sort of like setting things up for the future, and I'll be damned if it didn't send a chill down my spine while I was actually watching it in the anime. I love when they do this type of stuff, and it just got me so excited to see what they're going to do with that part of the series, because I'm going to say this right now. All that stuff that's going on in the manga right now with Boruto and Kara is some of the best stuff that's happened to the Naruto franchise in a long time, and it has just got me so excited for the series. So let's go ahead and just break down the rest of this in the rundown of these episodes of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. There was one thing that I didn't like about episode 92, and the thing that I was fearing the most. It looks like Garaga is not going to be partnered with Boruto any longer. I thought he was one of the coolest and most unique things about Boruto's moveset here, and I had a feeling that it was one of the coolest and most unique things about Boruto's moveset, and something that completely separated him from his father. And I was really hoping that that was going to be a standby for the series, but Garaga's like, well, no, our partnership's over, you made up with Mitsuki, so see ya, dog! That being said, the character of Garaga, just like Boruto and his teammates, has been changed greatly from all of these events, and now he's much more trustworthy of humans at this point, even after being betrayed so many years ago. So, in that sense, it is kind of a nice, tender moment, and even though they did break up their contract, I still have a feeling we might see Garaga again at some point in the future. Maybe Boruto could just meet him again and form another contract with him. I don't know. I think it would be really cool to see. I just want to see the return of Garaga. I thought he was really awesome and one of the best new additions to the series in this arc. Of course, the biggest shock, though, is that Enoki is dead. They killed off Enoki. It's still kind of surreal to think about. Even Darui made it clear, is like, I never thought that that old guy would actually die. I thought that was going to be one of the running jokes of the series, is that no matter what happened, no matter how old people get or how much they age, Ohnoki was always going to be around. Even if he was like an old decrepit skeleton, he would somehow cling to life. And the fact that that character is now officially dead is so strange, and he was basically the creator of his very own demise, which is, of course, what's also so disturbing about this arc right here. I mean, it was all in an effort to actually save the village and keep young people from getting killed, and ultimately, it was him who had to finish all of this off, and it resulted in his death. I still felt that they could have kept the character alive, but by killing him, it really does show that at this point, a lot of your favorite characters could simply just be scrubbed out of the series just like that. And for Enoki fans, I'm sure it's going to be very bittersweet. For Enoki, it still all ended with him being a hero, but like I said, it still doesn't take away from the shock that they just decided to just kill off this big major Naruto character. He wasn't always like a big mainstay of the series, but after his introduction, he ended up becoming like one of the most most important side characters. And luckily, he was able to install a lot of wisdom to the future. So hopefully that's going to result in some really good stuff, and we'll get to see more intermingling of some of the other villages. Now that we spent so much time in the Hidden Rock Village and even in the Hidden Mist Village, I hope we'll get to go around to all of the different various places and see a lot of brand new storylines. As for the future of Boruto, it certainly looks bright. There's a lot of brand new stories which are going to be coming in the pipeline, and it's only a matter of time before they get to that next major arc of the series, which introduces a brand new evil organization. I can't wait to see how that's all going to go. So you heard my thoughts on these episodes. I'd like to get yours. Tell me all of them in the comment section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of the Boruto anime series. Thank you all for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay damn, baby.